Hello everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix, and welcome to Wallpaper Wednesday. Today I've got what I am calling presentation envelopes to share. I made this one from Wallpaper. It's an envelope, but it's got a little bit of a twist. So I put this card in it. I actually made this card, or this envelope rather, for this card. The way it works is it's open here. This part is glued down, and then these two flaps come over and tie here. And they're open, but they're meant to be tied closed. So I made two from Wallpaper. This one and then this one. This is a very smooth wallpaper where this has got texture to it, and this one is like true wallpaper with like a vinyl finish where this is paper. So I put in this one I put one of my cloth napkin covered napkin decoupaged on fabric tags. Although I've not cut it in a tag, it was sort of an experiment, and this seemed to match the color, so I stuck it in. But this is made exactly the same way, it's just a different size. And I'm really liking how these look. You can make them really elegant, and I'm calling them a presentation envelope because this is something you could really give someone a gift of, packed full of ephemera and all that, and make it just as plain or as fancy as you wanted to. Now this one I made from tissue. I have a roll of tissue on a roll. I guess me saying that I had a roll of tissue is self-explanatory, but anyway, I have this tissue on a roll, and I cut off a section of it. And then I took a sheet of 60-pound cardstock and adhered this on both sides, just folded it over, and made the same exact pocket. This is another napkin decoupaged onto fabric tag. This might actually work better as a journaling card. You can actually write on this. Fabric is just cotton fabric. The other one you can't, but this one you can. So I just found something that sort of matched that, but I mean, this to me just says springtime. But yeah, I'm really liking this little project. So what I have is I've already cut out, this is another piece of tissue that I have adhered to, just a piece of white cardstock, just 60 pounds, so it's somewhat thin. I think it's 60 pounds. And then another sheet of the same piece of wallpaper as this one. So I'm going to do the wallpaper first because it's the simplest. And I did this early this morning, and our neighbors, I mentioned in the last video, they got married today. Now today is Saturday. You won't see this video until Wednesday, but I had to wait until the whole thing was over. It went from 5 to 11, and then they just kept playing music. It's like 1:45 in the morning, so technically it's Sunday. But I'm leaving tomorrow around noon to go to my daughter's and my parents in North Carolina, and it's a 3-hour drive, so, and I won't be back till late Wednesday. So I got to get this done tonight. So hopefully my brain can process how to do this. So, alright, the first thing that you want to do is fold up, and you can make this any size that you want. Cut out a square or a rectangle, either or, and you'll go up a little over half. It doesn't have to be, it needs to be a little more than half, but not a whole lot more than half, and I'm going to do that right there. And just fold it. And then you bring this one over, and this is where you get the height of this envelope, and you just need it to overlap enough so that when it's behind, you don't see that white edge or whatever your inside is. Now, I will also go ahead and say that if you hear noises, there are still some people outside not our house, but the house next door, kind of roaming around putting up equipment. So you might hear a car door or even a horn blow or something like that, but I think the worst is over. But the people were very nice. They invited us, but we didn't go, but we stood out and watched because we didn't want to interfere into their family thing. But the groom brought us a plate of food, and then later brought us a piece of the wedding cake. They've been very good neighbors, and so we're very glad that they included us in their special day. Okay, so the next thing, oops, just banged my cabinet behind me. The next thing I'm going to do is this one is 11 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is find a point where I want my middle to be, or the middle section that needs, and you need to have equal sections on either side. So if I come in 3 here and 3 here, that will give me a 5-inch pocket. So that's what I'm going to do on this one, but you decide on yours whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to score at 3 and just score through the whole thing and do it firmly, but not enough, to tear your papers and that sort of thing. But just score down like that. I'm banging into everything. Okay, and then right on the inside of that score line, and I hope you can see that. So we're going to cut out this square, and the same on this side. So on this, go just inside your score line here and here, and here and here. So let's see if I can do this. The light is against me here, and I think I might actually be able to see it better on this side. But yeah, go just inside of it. It don't have to be right on the mark, because this will be covered up when you fold your little the little V pockets over, but you still want it to look neat. So just inside that score line, just slightly. And then here. Yeah, it was a really nice ceremony. They put up a big tent, and I'm glad they did, because it's been raining all day. So I know that was not the best weather for a wedding. And then, where we are here in the south, we've lived here for 8 years now, and it's snowed once. We're just a little bit too far down for that sort of thing, unless it's just really a strange winter or a colder winter. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is this little top flap. You're just going to put some glue. And I just realized I didn't have my mat up here, so I got this purple glue, and I'm not really crazy over it. It stays purple way too long, I think. Okay, so there's that. And then you got this folded up this way, and so now what you're going to do is, now you still have this score line here, so you're going to fold up to where you're just almost to it but not quite, and fold this way. Then you're going to come back down, do the same thing here, and don't worry if it's a little bit out of line, because we're going to do a little bit more trimming. So once you've done that, just trim, give yourself about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch, give or take a little. Do that there, and then on this, come right across just above that point, and then you'll fold it back down. Just run you a little bit of glue across that, just enough to hold it. If you need to do any adjustments with making sure that your point is pointed, it don't necessarily have to be pointed, but it just looks better, I think, if it is. So do that, and turn around here and do the same thing. Just almost to that, almost to that score line, but not quite. And come up here with your point, then cut, and cut, and then cut that little point just above it a little bit. Give it a touch of glue, just enough to hold it down. Okay, I think I need to put just a little. I don't think my glue actually even touched the thing. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, I don't like the purple glue. It's like slimy. And I just, yeah, that'll probably end up going in the garbage. I just don't like it at all. Okay, now, that one's still trying to, alrighty. Look at that one, just popped right back up. Now the way I've been doing this, you know how I like my iron, so I'm going to step over here and press this down so it'll stay down. Okay, then we're just going to push that over there and fold it along, press it down along those score lines, and then we're going to take our little hole punch and come in about a 1/4-ish inch and snap us a hole like so, and I was using my glue earlier today and it felt a little dry on top. I cut me some out of book pages, but I don't want to use that on this one. But I think these two, maybe, that's, well, that one I didn't, this is a dud, we can't use it, but we're using these two. Okay, so I'm only putting a little hole reinforcer on one side. Put it on this side. So just squeeze out a little bit of glue. And if you have a pair of tweezers, it makes it, or some tool like this, it just makes it much easier to line it all up. And I put too much glue. Put it where it's supposed to be. And for me, the hardest part, I suppose, or the most involved part of this project when I first played with it was actually getting me a square or a rectangle that I actually wanted to use. Well, those are two different colors, aren't they? I'm thinking, can I rip that up without it creating a big deal, and then I can make sure that that little part is near the point, and that way it'll be covered up with the tie. I cut these out of some of my coffee dyed paper that it was when I was using the water bath, and you know, you stack your paper in, and sometimes the ones in the middle just don't get enough. Okay, so let me grab a piece of lace because I forgot to get some. Okay, and the way that I did this was 1, 2, I think I did it like 2.5-ish times. As wide as my little thing here. And so, now most of the time this glue dries fast enough that you can just go ahead and do this, even though I know I just put those little things on there. But yeah, these are just cute little envelopes. I'm really liking these, and I like that they're really good to make from the wallpaper. I know I try to do some stuff with wallpaper or some other specialty type paper every Wednesday or every other Wednesday, but there's only so many projects that you can do with wallpaper. Especially if it's the vinyl coated. If it's paper, actually, like this one is, then you can pretty much treat it just like a piece of scrapbook paper or cardstock. But if it's vinyl covered, that's a whole different story. Now, I was watching a lady a while back that said my instinct is to tie over when I make a bow, but she said if you tie under, it'll always turn out good. And for the most part, I think that's true, but I don't know how good a job that did. But anyway, that sort of matches. And then I picked up another one of those. This is just a piece of linen with some stripes on it. And the one thing about this is, I mean, I guess you could have stuff in it as tall as you wanted, but I think the whole point of it is it's supposed to sit just inside of it slightly. So I am going to just fold this, and this fabric has the decoupage on it. It's also been sprayed with starch probably 3 or 4 times while I was doing it. Okay. So, I'll go up just a little bit more. So it pretty much stays wherever you fold it. There we go. Because this envelope, or has, or not the envelope, but the wallpaper has some little orange spots in it. So, for the sake of time and me needing to get into the bed so I can make my trip tomorrow, I'm not going to do this one tonight. It's the same exact process, just a different piece of paper is all. So I'm going to say good night, and or whatever time of day you're watching this. But I've got to say, I've got to go to bed, otherwise I'll never make the drive to my parents tomorrow. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon.